Hello, hello, hello. It's Tuesday. How you all doing? I hope you're having a nice day. Hardly working or working hard. I have been technically working, but not very hard. But now it's time for the news, and we've got, again, as per always, lots of stuff to talk about because the world is mental, especially now. It's even more mental than I can remember it being. Mm. So, what do we have on the agenda today? That's a good question. That is a good question. So, what do we have? So, Starmer warns against false comfort of quick end to Iran war amid ongoing Hormuz crisis. Trump postpones strikes on Iran's power plants after productive talks. More stuff about being criticized and stuff, criticizing Starmer because he's a retard, and so on and so forth. Okay, and a bunch of other stuff. There's a lot of stuff on X that we're going to go through, and some live stream fails, and God knows what else. So there is plenty to go through. Do not worry about that. Cool. So first off, hopefully I didn't actually just close that down. No. Okay, cool. So, Starmer warns against false comfort of quick end to Iran war amid ongoing Hormuz crisis. So obviously, shit is going down in Iran, trying to just obviously get rid of a terrorist regime and stopping them from having a nuclear weapon that would literally cause basically an Armageddon. So I think it's a good thing to get rid of them. If oil prices are up a bit, boo-hoo, just fucking deal with it and wait until it's over. When it's over, we're going to have cheaper petrol at the end of it. Assuming the US actually win properly and don't just make some sort of stupid fucking deal with them. Because, I mean, part of this, obviously, is the Iranian people being free of a Islamic terrorist dictatorship that's plagued them for like 47 years or how long it's been. So I want to see that as a result. I don't just want to see, I don't know, cheaper oil prices in the long run, blah, 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 and Iran saying they're not going to get a nuke. Because firstly, if that regime still exists in some way, shape or form, eventually they're going to get a nuke. I mean, they're just going to find a way. Eventually. And I mean, possibly even 50, 60 years down the line. All you need is a democratic government in charge, and there you go, basically. So that's something that the whole world needs to be on board with, and it boggles my mind that the whole world is not on board with that. There are obviously leftist lunatics who love this kind of shit, who obviously are against anything that Trump does or thinks or says, because they haven't got a brain of their own. Let's see. A nice clip, if I can find one, of this. But there isn't one. That's not ideal. I did see something interesting, actually. Where is it? Ah, yeah, there we go. Starmer getting shouted at because he's not sorting things out quickly enough.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister. But with the greatest respect about the Defence Investment Plan, the idea that the lack of the plan is not holding anything up is utterly ludicrous. Industry is crying out for certainty that it will bring, and the longer it's delayed, the longer that uncertainty exists. How can you create a 10-year plan without the Treasury making the necessary commitments for the next 10 years for the necessary levels of spending? They won't do that. The Chancellor says it's not on her desk, which means she said no, and she sent it back to the Ministry of Defence. How are you going to resolve this?
He's not going to do anything. He's so against war. He's like Chamberlain back in World War II times, where he's like, oh, I've appeased him, it's fine, we don't have to worry, there's not going to be a war, we're not going to step in, yada, yada, yada. But you need to. The thing is, acting now stops something terrible happening in the future. It really does. Sometimes you have to have some fucking balls and stand up and actually do something, which is something this government never ever does. As if you've ever noticed that, they absolutely never do that. They didn't do that during COVID. I mean, yes, they were the shadow government, but they never stepped in to help. They actively voted against things that are in people's best interest, or just didn't vote at all. They are cowards. This, especially Keir Starmer, is the most cowardly leader I think we've ever seen in Britain. And probably, hopefully, the last.
Well, it's my job to resolve it. What I want to do is to make sure that the investment we need is going in, and that it's sustained over a 10-year period in accordance with the strategic review. And I want to get that right. What I don't want to do is to set out commitments without being absolutely clear where the money is coming from. Now, of course, we need to take the time to get that right. Of course, it's not easy. There was a lack of investment.
Yeah, nobody votes you in because they think it's fucking easy. You're supposed to do your job.
Over many
not easy.
years. I think that's palpable, and everybody now accepts that the last government didn't invest anything like enough in.
There's right. Let's see. Let's find out. Oh, so the Tories have historically spent more overall. Okay. Interesting. Yep. So 60 to 70 billion per year. Labour, 66. So yeah, I mean, he's saying that the Tories haven't invested. Well, they've invested more, so duh.
Our defence, and we're kicking
more
out
bullshit.
and turning it around. What I'm not
Can you believe it? From
is put a
Keir
plan,
fucking
but I can't
Starmer.
explain exactly how it's going to be funded. We're finalising that. We're nearly there. It's my job to resolve it, and resolve it I will.
You said that twice. It's my job to resolve it, and resolve it I will. Will you actually, though? I mean, you say a lot of shit, but you never actually do anything, do you?
You clearly haven't communicated the necessary urgency to the Treasury, who need to come up with the money. In October this afternoon, you might just ask the question why the Treasury does not seem to realise that we are already at war, and we need to be in a war-fighting mentality to deal with the emergencies that we're facing.
Well, we should be in a war. We should be in the war helping the US and our allies to, as I've said, stop Iran, a terrorist regime, from getting nuclear weapons, for one, and to help free the Iranian people, or the Persian people, who have been fucked over for 47 years.
Well, I appreciate
why
that.
Are we not helping with this?
We are clear where the money is.
Well, we know why we're not helping with this, don't we? With Mohammed Starmer there.
Coming from, but because of the significant underfundment of the last government, we have to make sure that we get this right. To be perfectly honest, the zero-based review has thrown up all sorts of practices in the MOD which have gone on for years, with overcommitment, underfunding, nothing done on time. All of that, I've said, I want the slate wiped clear. I'm not going on like that anymore. So the plan we're coming up with deals with, yes, the strategic plan, but I'm also clearing up the mess that I've inherited, because we can't go on in the way that when I opened the books and saw the way this has been done for years.
This is what he does all the time. It really pisses me off. He always puts blame on something else. He never has any fucking accountability, this man. Have you ever seen him take responsibility for anything? Or does he always just blame the Tories? Oh, the Tories did it. The Tories did it. Shut up.
Needed to change it, and that's what I'm doing.
By all means, take your party political swipes. Here is a paper produced by me and a Labour MP, Derek Twigg, on the Defence Committee, with a foreword by Lord Robertson. We're all agreed that the government is not on a war footing and needs to be very quickly. Why is it not on a war footing now?
Because the strategic review commits us to a war footing, and we now need to put the funding in place in order to get there. I've already announced the increase in defence spending to 2.5%, something that didn't happen under the last government, and where at the election a credible proposition wasn't put forward by your party. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it properly, and I want to be able to explain to Parliament where the money is coming from.
But it sounds as though you are at peace while we are actually at war.
He's right. I mean, he's not at peace, is he? He is being absolutely mullered by everybody constantly because he's so fucking useless.
With respect, I'm clearing up the mess that I inherited from the last government. And
I dare say Winston Churchill had a bit of mess to clear up from the previous government. Margaret Thatcher had a bit of mess to clear up from the previous government.
Every single time Labour get into power, the Tories have to fix the shit show that has been left behind. Every single time that I can remember in my whole life. It was insane. Remember, we had John Major in power for fucking ages, and he was great. He was fine. Nobody had any issues with him, as far as I remember, really. And then we had Tony Blair and fucked everything up. Gordon Brown fucked everything up. Sold all of our gold at its lowest price. And then the Tories had to come in and stay in, obviously, for way longer, because they always stay in for longer. Because everyone remembers how shit Labour are after about 3 months of them getting into power and going, oh shit, I forgot how bad they were. It's like, yeah, maybe you should try remembering or reading or, looking at history. This literally repeats itself every, I don't know, every 2 or 3 election cycles. This happens again and again.
Now we are facing an urgency. Why were we so unready to defend Cyprus?
Well, we've got a lot of defensive capability in Cyprus, as you know.
If we had a lot of capability in Cyprus, we wouldn't have had to have sent anything. You could have actually helped in the first place instead of taking 2 weeks to send a fucking ship.
Including the air capability there, and I've been constantly talking to the Cypriots about this. I was on the phone yet again to the President on Saturday at some great length. His assessment, same as my assessment, is that our 2 military teams are working as closely as they've ever worked now, and we are absolutely determined to do it.
It's like these sort of... It's just the fakeness of how he talks, you know what I mean? It boggles my mind. Oh, they've been working together more than they have ever done before. Yeah, because they need to, obviously, because something is fucking happening where they need to work together. That doesn't happen all the time.
Everything we need to do to defend Cyprus, and that's what I discussed with him at some length, not for the first time in recent weeks, on Saturday morning.
So we could even stop 150 kilometre per mile drone from getting through to hitting a sovereign base in Cyprus. That means we were unprepared. And the very fact that you immediately wanted to defend a destroyer meant you had failed to anticipate the need to defend Cyprus.
Well, it shows that there wasn't, like he just said. He said, "Oh yeah, well, no, we were prepared. We've got military stuff in Cyprus." It's like, okay, then why did you send a ship 2 fucking weeks late? If you're prepared, you wouldn't need to do that.
But this smacks of a lack of war-fighting mentality that reaches right across the government, which is what we address in this paper.
It's because they're
about
cowards.
War-fighting readiness, where we are not at. And the chiefs of staff are saying, we need to be ready for war. So when are we going to be prepared, and prepared for what?
We are finalising the investment plan. That sits with the Strategic Defence Review.
Smacks of an enormous complacency.
Well, this smacks of the fact that for years there was underinvestment by the last government. And
no, but there wasn't. Right. Look. Right. Okay. Probably need to ask if it's more or less or whatever. 62 billion and an additional 2.2 billion. That's more than Labour has put in. So what are we talking about here? He literally just makes shit up. What is it with people on the left just literally inventing things? and just saying them and expect people to, because the people who follow them do believe them. That's why.
Following out of our armed forces.
We've had 18 months to do
He's
this.
getting angry.
Who was the defence
I'm not
secretary.
making a party political point.
Well,
because
honestly,
I agree with Ben
40
Wallace.
years of underinvestment,
I agree with
18
Ben
months of
Wallace.
Labour
40
government.
years.
But take drones, for example.
We're picking up the underinvestment of your government.
Does he honestly think, does anyone actually think that Labour would, if this didn't happen, would have put more money into defence? There's no way.
The whole concept of warfighting has changed in the last 12 months.
I understand that.
I was in Ukraine very recently, and the Ukrainian armed forces are mystified and want to offer help, as they are offering help to the Gulf states, to the NATO frontline states, and to NATO JEF, about how to prepare for drone warfare.
Yes.
This is being held up by the lack of the defence industrial plan.
No, it's not. I had President
No, it's
Zelensky
not.
last.
Such a sort of weaselly little prick. Can't stop a 150 miles per hour drone. No, mate, can't stop a 5 mile an hour dinghy either. Yep, true. Says the man who worked for Rwanda to prosecute our armed forces. Stop giving millions for mosques and give to military. That where your downfall is. The people know, and people are pissed off, and people see it every day, and they know what's going on. This guy is a traitor to Britain, and he needs to go. He needs to go. The Labour Party needs to go. We really need to fix this, because we are going to be absolutely fucked if we don't. If a party like, I'm really hoping Restore manage it, Restore Britain, but if they don't, or Reform, if Restore or Reform don't get in the next election, our country is fucked. And I mean, to the point where I honestly believe we will have Sharia law within 30 years, at least in parts of Britain. Possibly not all of it, I think that'll take longer. If something doesn't happen. I mean, people are more aware now that literally part of their ideology is to take over the fucking West. I mean, what do you think prompted the Crusades? Anyone who knows anything about the Crusades will know that the Islamic states were invading Christian countries for hundreds of years before the Crusades happened, and then boom, Crusades, purge, and we took them back. That's it. It's literally what they do. It's part of their ideology. And do they come to a country and do they integrate? No. Do they follow the culture at all? No. Do they insist on things that we think are barbaric? Yes. Why are we okay with this? In what universe should a country let in an ideology that A, wants to destroy you, B, wants to take over your land, C, wants to completely replace the original religion, even though I'm not religious, it doesn't matter, the original religion ideology of a country, and not integrate, and not follow culture, and completely disregard it in the sense that they will insist on doing the opposite of what our culture is supposed to be. How is this okay? Who can see that and think, yep, that's fine. This is going to end well, obviously. I mean, it's not going to end well, is it? It's going to end in one way. We either get overtaken or we don't. And eventually we will, if we don't do something. And I think a lot of people are realising this now, which is a good thing. Anyway, I don't want to hear twatty Starmer talk anymore because he's annoying me, as per usual. So what else we got here? Trump postpones strikes on Iran's power plants after productive talks. I am worried about this, if I'm honest. I think this might be a BBC. Oh, God.
And it's Chris at Westminster.
It's Katrina in what?
Is this really a half an hour one? Oh, can we find one that isn't half an hour? For the love of God, it's too long. Right, let's just search for this and see if we can find something that's not 500,000 hours long. Okay, this is 48 seconds. Oh, can we have a bit with Trump saying stuff so we know what he's saying? Is this BBC News? No. Yes. No. No. Something else. Ah, I think it's this one. I already had it. Okay, sweet. Let's see.
As I announced earlier, based on preliminary conversations between the United States and Iran over the past 2 days, I've directed the Department of War to temporarily postpone planned strikes against major energy and electricity targets in Iran. They have very, very big, new, actually, and very expensive, billions of dollars it costs to build them one missile, one of our powerful ones, and it comes down to the ground like it was made out of dust. But to determine whether a broader agreement can be reached, we've had very good discussions, very, very good discussions. And you have to understand, I know my whole life has been a negotiation, but with Iran, we've been negotiating for a long time. And this time, they mean business. And it's only because of the great job that our military did is the reason they mean business. They want to settle, and we're going to get it done, I hope.
No, you need to replace them. You need to replace them. You need to get rid of them. You can't just negotiate with them. You're literally negotiating with terrorists at this point. I know oil prices are high, but think of the people that have been repressed for 47 fucking years. Can we maybe help them out? We need regime change. We can't just make a deal and then let them carry on doing what they're doing. In what universe does that make sense? In what universe is that okay? Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. The rest of the stuff I have is basically literally the same thing. I mean, oil markets are getting better, interesting after these productive conversations. It's interesting, isn't it, really, how it could work just on the word of mouth rather than actual prices. Strange. It's almost as if we're being conned constantly, paying mostly tax for everything, including oil, which could just, you could just take the pressure off and drop the tax a bit for a while. But oh, that would lose people money, and people like money, so there you go. It is what it is. Crazy. Crazy. So that's the main stories, really, in the main sphere of news. We do have some crazy shit going on X. There's some other stuff as well, I think. Done that one, done that one, done that one. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Yep, pretty much. Migrant crisis. What's this? France getting worse at stopping channel migrants despite £500 million deal. Do you want to know why they're not very good at stopping all the illegal immigrants going from France? Because they don't want them in France. That's why. Duh. Even if you made an agreement, they're just going to go, yeah, give us money and we'll keep them out. And then just go, meh, send them anyway. Suckers. I mean, come on. Are we that naive? It's insane. Right, let's see.
Let's talk about this. Small boat migrants. They've reached the UK after boats were spotted attempting to cross the channel. GB News counted 55 people disembarking on a border force vessel in Dover. All of this after nearly 600 illegal migrants arrived in the UK over the past 5 days. Well, I'm now joined by the former Director General of the UK Border Force, Tony Smith. Tony, I mean, we don't seem to be getting anywhere with this. Nothing seems to be working at all. What do we do now?
Yeah, you're right, Nana. It's all to do with the weather. We did have quite a few weeks where...
What we need is a proper border force. That's it. That's what we need. And they don't take them in and give them a little house. They turn the little dinghy around and go, see you later. They're not allowed in. Done. I mean, yeah, okay, you could detain them and deport them as well. That's fine. I'm good with that. Ship them to Rwanda if you can't send them home. Don't care. Not our problem. Well, why do we have to suffer because of this? Why do we have to have women and children in Britain being raped and killed for this? are we serious? It's
The
insane.
weather was very bad in the Channel leading up to Christmas, and people were saying, "Oh, perhaps the government's got on top of this." But as the weather breaks, as spring breaks, then we're seeing hundreds and hundreds, coming over. We haven't got into thousands yet, but it is all about the weather. And I'm afraid that when that turns, then we're going to continue to see the boats coming unless there is a very significant change in policy, legislation, and attitude, really, of the government in terms of allowing people, to claim asylum and to claim human rights when they get here.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute shocker. What about, was it Priti Patel who suggested a wave machine or something that could change the nature of the sea so that people couldn't cross? I mean, is that...
What? Okay, hold on.
A wave machine?
To claim asylum and to claim human rights when they get here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute shocker. What about, was it Priti Patel who suggested a wave machine or something that could change the nature of the sea so that people couldn't cross?
Okay.
I mean,
how would you create a wave machine so big that it affects the sea? Oh my god, these people are retarded. I know that that's a Tory or whatever, but I mean, they're all as shit as each other. A fucking wave machine. A wave machine?
That's such a ridiculous
Fuck.
idea. Is it even possible?
No, it's not fucking possible.
No, I'm not a maritime expert. I took advice from maritime experts when
I'm sorry, I don't think maritime experts know how to make a giant wave machine either.
I was in the job, and they told me no one's going to be able to get across there in a small boat because of the currents and the winds and the ferries and so on. So who knows? The weather is our best friend. But I mean, the problem we've got, as you know, is that we're not able to return people once they get here and claim asylum. Only, I think, about 4% ever of the boat arrivals have been returned. The government will tell you they are returning more people now, but they're not people coming by small boat. Ergo, the pull factor goes on. They know they're being told by their smugglers and their friends and their colleagues that you've just literally got to get across there, claim asylum, and it's very, very unlikely that you're ever going to be removed from the UK. And I'm afraid that remains the problem, Nana.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, even looking at it, the politicians haven't got a clue. Is anything that the government are doing right now helping to stop it? So, for example, the latest initiative was £10,000 for failed asylum seekers, or up to £40,000 for a family of them.
Good idea.
Do you think
that's
will
ridiculous
help to
as well.
send the message, or do you think that's...
It will send a message that we are open for exploitation. If I was a legal immigrant and I grew up in some shithole somewhere that's completely fucked over because of whatever, and they were saying, "Oh, 40,000 to go to Britain and go home again." All right, I'll do that, and then I'll just go again. I mean, how stupid are these? Why are we giving them money? Oh, it's cheaper. We shouldn't be giving them anything in the fucking first place. Are you kidding? Oh, 40,000 is cheaper than 150,000 per family that we have to, in inverted commas, pay them to have hotels and to have somewhere to live and to have money to live and all of this shit. No. Hold on there a second. Don't give them anything. Why are we doing that?
Was it message?
Well, I think Shabana Mahmood's made a bit of a difference there, Nana, to be fair to her. She has brought in she's put forward a number of proposals, they haven't come in yet, on terms of, reducing the pull factor, reducing asylum support, making it harder for people to stay permanently if you come illegally, all of those things. In my view, the biggest mistake we've made is abolishing the Rwanda plan. Well, the first mistake was not making the Rwanda plan and the Illegal Migration Act strong enough in the first place to enable us to overcome legal challenges, particularly in the field of human rights. As you know, the last government sort of marched us up towards the top of the hill. We never quite got there. But my heart sank when I heard, that Keir Starmer was advocating the immediate abolishing of the Rwanda plan.
I mean, it's traitorous, it's treasonous to go against something that has already been put in place that would make everything better. Rwanda need people. That's why they made the fucking deal. Rwanda need people. We don't. It works. What is the problem with it? Oh, it's racist. It's not. Fuck off. Just send them to Rwanda. Done. It's literally a win-win situation that's been ruined.
That was our best hope. He came in to be better than him on that ticket. He said that's what he was going to do. But, smashing the gangs, Nana, I'm sorry. I wish Martin Hewitt well. But that's not really a smart objective, is it? To stop the boats, it's much more than smashing gangs. There's lots of gangs. It is about detaining people a moment they arrive, having the powers to keep them detained
Yeah.
until such time as you can remove them somewhere. And our best hope of doing that was being able to remove them to Rwanda very, very swiftly. Unfortunately, that's not there now. And so, you still get here and you end up in this interminable asylum application process. They speeded that up, but now we've got a 56-week delay in your appeal, and virtually everybody appeals, and quite a lot of those appeals are allowed, you see. So, while people believe that they're going to be given freedom in the UK, they're going to be allowed in, and sooner or later, they're going to be allowed to stay because we're not going to send them back. I'm afraid it's going to be an indeterminate problem, and so I do think we need to have a fundamental root and branch look about, can we overcome these problems in international law? Can we change the legislation to enable us to detain people and deport people, which is what Reform have been saying all along, to be fair to them, and which the Conservatives are now saying, but they weren't for a while. It is, I'm afraid, a legal quagmire for the border force that we have to work within the confines of the legislation we're given. And at the moment, if you get into British territorial waters and you claim asylum or human rights, then it's pretty well inevitable, unless you're selected for this one-to-one scheme. It's a very small number.
One-to-one,
such bullshit. And it's very likely you're going to be allowed to stay, I'm afraid.
All right, Tony Smith, thank you for that. He's a former...
I mean, why does the Labour Party, why does the government need to make a little deal? Oh, we'll send one out and then we'll bring another one in or whatever. It's like, no, just get rid of them. They are fucking illegal immigrants. Illegal is the word. They shouldn't be here in the fucking first place. So get rid of them. Don't make little deals and give them lots of money and go, oh, 1 for 1. No, fuck off. Get rid of them. See you later. It's insane. Actually insane. It drives me actually mad that this shit is going on. I think that was, we saw that one. We've got some other stuff to react to this in a little bit as well. Let's see what we've got on X. So what I do on X is I look through it and I like things that I'm going to talk about. So.
I'm only just getting started. There's so much that I'm only just getting started.
So
There's so much that I have been...
This is first German asylum seeker, Naomi Siebert. Don't know. Fight for free speech. German activist Naomi Siebert reveals the harrowing reality of being targeted by her own government starting at the age of 15. Now seeking asylum in the United States. That's the only place that you can go. I've seen a lot of, there's a lot of British people. I'm not following Tommy Robinson. I'll follow her as well. What was I saying? Fuck. So yeah, there's a lot of people I know, a lot of content creators that are covering this shit. Literally are moving to America so they can say what's on their mind, because you'll get arrested for it in Britain. What world do we live in where you can't say what you think? Even if it's deemed controversial, you should be allowed to say what you think. I've said it before, we need some sort of constitution that actually protects free speech. And it needs to, actually be in place and work. Because it's ridiculous. Because who decides what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say? The government that's in at the time, pretty much. You have a government like Labour. I mean, imagine if the Green Party get in. We won't be able to say anything. I think it would be it would be even worse, I think. Anyway,
the German government,
this is 20 minutes, so it's quite long.
Angela Merkel, who destroyed our country. And I can only talk about all these things when I know that I'm safely able to stay in the United States and they cannot even extradite me or anything, or potentially, God forbid, kill me, because I do believe that there are very good reasons to believe that this could be the case.
Yeah.
Sign up at TommyInUSA.com for the latest news and content from America.
I am from Germany, and I am the first German asylum seeker under the Trump administration. I don't think there's anybody else from Germany who has applied for asylum in America in...
I'm honestly tempted
2008, because there was a family
to apply for asylum
to homeschool their children,
in the
but
US.
Homeschooling is illegal in Germany. Why? Because they want to indoctrinate our children.
Is it really? I didn't know that. Oops, ignore that. Right. I did not know that. Let me check. Is homeschooling illegal in Germany? Let's find out. Yes. What the fuck? Oh. It is illegal. Okay. Wow. Okay, interesting.
It's become so horrific in Germany, the situation with mass migration, shut down nuclear power, and I just went against the administration back in 2016 already, when I was like 15, 16 years old. I criticized Angela Merkel, and suddenly people started calling me a racist, even though
that's just
I was raised in a very liberal environment. And as I started becoming more recognized...
I mean, as soon as you have an opinion that isn't one of the tick boxes on the left, you're immediately called a racist, a Nazi, and all this shit. Immediately. Because they just used hurty words. That's all they could do. They don't have an argument that makes any sense. So they just have to go, oh, Nazi, labeled. I was like, but I'm not a Nazi. I just don't want, illegal immigrants coming and, killing people and raping people and shit. I don't think that makes me a racist. I didn't mention of race at all. I just said illegal immigrants. That includes all of them. Anyway.
As I started my own YouTube channel and became known as the anti-Greta Thunberg because I opposed the climate change propaganda, that's when they started putting me under intelligence investigations and surveillance. And they started reading my messages to my family. I was spied on even by state media, and I found out about the extent of the surveillance only this year because an ex-army intelligence agent became a whistleblower in my case, and he let me know that they reached out to American intelligence back in 2020 to find out what kinds of connections I had to the Trump administration.
That's insane.
So this is, let's walk, we'll walk, yeah? So this is the German government targeting a young lady from the age of 15 or 16 who begins to exercise her free speech. Nothing extreme. Was you inciting anything? What was you calling for?
Not at all. When I was 19 years, I started my YouTube channel, and as I said, I talked about climate change. I was a science nerd in school, and so naturally I had to look into the whole climate change topic.
I mean, it's an interesting thing. What was I going to say? Under the new Islamophobia laws, technically, apparently, I am now a terrorist. Do you know that? I'm a terrorist. Thinking what I think makes me a terrorist. Again, I'm not racist. I don't care what colour you are. I'm not sexist. Women and men are equal, but in different ways, and that's absolutely fine. Each has a place to play in everything you do. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not homophobic. I don't care if somebody's gay. It doesn't matter. I don't care if somebody's trans. It doesn't matter. So, I would still be called a terrorist. So it's interesting what is going on, really. The fact that our freedom of speech is being completely eroded to the point where you can't even... you literally can't say things that are actually happening in the world. We need to fight back.
Found out that we were being lied to, so I made this video on YouTube that kind of went viral, where I just asked scientific questions. And if you watch my old YouTube videos, you will see I was the most innocent, naive, kind of autistic girl on YouTube, and I had no idea that I was going to become the target of this kind of intelligence operation. I was not the kind of person who went on YouTube to become famous, or I was never considered like the hot, cool, popular kid. So that was absolutely not my intention, and because of my support for the AfD, the opposition party in Germany, that is, I think, the most similar to the Restore party under Rupert Lowe in the UK, that became another main factor for the investigations and for the harassment and Antifa death threats which I have been receiving, because the AfD is considered a far-right extremist party in Germany.
Even though it's not
but
at all.
Here's something that happened just recently that's a bit more positive, if you will, and I think that's mostly because the United States are watching what's going on in Germany, and they are getting scared of the impact that the Trump administration has. In 2025, last year, the German Domestic Intelligence Agency, ironically, they are called the Protection of the Constitution Office, which is so contradictory and ironic. They put they basically officially classified the AfD as a far-right extremist party, and what this means is that gives them, they wanted to ban them. Absolutely, you got it. They wanted to do what they did in Romania.
This is a party with 30% of the vote, no?
Yes, almost 30% now. That's absolutely...
I mean, that's almost as much as Labour had in the last fucking election, so...
insane that they want to ban this party. And also I want to make clear, the only reason why they are currently not in the government and why the CDU party, which is the former Angela Merkel party, why they won again, is because the people that voted for them, they voted for AfD policies. Our current chancellor copied 2/3 of the policies from the AfD in his program. That's what he ran on, and then he betrayed all his principles and didn't implement anything.
This always happens.
So he's a controlled opposition, fake conservative, the chancellor.
This is what always happens, and we see it all the time. People go on the popular stance and then just ignore it for their own ideals, which are the opposite. I mean, literally, they're just saying what people want to hear, so they get voted in. I mean, I think there needs to be some accountability for promises made during, election campaigns, things like that. There needs to be accountability. I think you should put them in jail if they don't, or at least attempt to, uphold their promises. Because in fact, if they're making a promise, they should go to jail if they don't do it. The end. Because you can't go around literally manipulating the public to vote you into power to make a difference. Of people voting on those specific things that they want done, and then just not do them. Barely even attempt to do it.
Uses to form a coalition with the AfD, and that's a big deal in Germany. They call it the firewall, where all the other parties, they've basically sworn that they will form a huge coalition against the AfD in the next election, and that's exactly what they did in the last election too. So he would much rather, that's very important, he would rather form a coalition with a communist party than the AfD.
There's similar things have happened in France, right? Yeah. To prevent the point I want...
It's because there's people in control behind the scenes that it is their vested interest to have illegal immigration and such in the country. Especially when voting is so easily manipulated. And if they've got asylum, I don't know if they're allowed to vote or not, actually, but I'm sure they can find a way, and I'm sure they're allowed to by certain governments, because I don't think they would be in power now.
Home in on here. Many people have been censored, attacked, faced death threats for speaking out against Islam, Islamization, mass immigration. For you, this didn't start with any of that. This started with climate change. Yeah. You were targeted as a young lady in Germany.
It's crazy.
That's drove you now to be claiming asylum because you spoke out with facts around climate change. Now,
I mean, it was interesting. Back in the day, they were saying, it's the greenhouse effect, yada, yada, yada. And then apparently we fixed the ozone layer, so that's all good. And then climate change and more climate change. And I think, yes, humans have affected climate change. We have caused climate change to a degree. But, I mean, it's coming out now that it's not even nearly as severe as people have predicted it to be. And it's actually really not that much of a problem.
I think for an American audience, for many audiences, this is so difficult to understand.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel actually started with my support for the AfD, and I did talk about migration, but the video that went viral, that was a climate change one. And then I got connected with some Americans, and they then basically branded me as the anti-Greta Thunberg, and I was on the front cover of the Washington Post in 2020, and I was at CPAC. And then the pandemic started, obviously, so I spoke out against the COVID nonsense too, because I looked into that scientifically, and I debunked the PCR tests in the German parliament. And
I mean, I was working in care homes when COVID happened. It was definitely real, and lots of people died. I saw that firsthand. But was it worth locking down the whole country? No. It was a bad flu. Yes, there were people that died from it. I know there's one of my colleagues who was 60-something died from it as well. So, I mean, it was a thing, and it was nasty at the beginning, and then it just sort of wore off. And honestly, I thought lockdown was brilliant because I had an excuse not to go anywhere and people couldn't get close to me. It was great.
Yeah, all these...
Apart from having to work in care homes where COVID was around the whole fucking time and wearing a mask for 14 hours.
Reasons apparently led to further investigations, but what's horrifying for me to realize is that when this ex-army intelligence agent told me about the surveillance and that they actually read my text messages, he could tell me details about my private life from 2023 that nobody could have possibly known. So he was not lying, he was not just making it up.
And it's been proven now that the
That's just crazy.
American government were doing the same as this to the American citizens, right? Spying.
Of course.
Yeah, and like I said, that what's so...
It's naive to think that the government doesn't have access to all of your messages. It 100% does. All you got to do to spy on somebody is literally, as a government, request information from Facebook, basically Meta, and job done. They own WhatsApp, Facebook, yada yada, Instagram, and yeah, they're not going to refuse. They're going to go okie doke, and that's it. So even though they always advertise WhatsApp, it's encrypted, so nobody, not even we can see what you're doing. Okay, then why do WhatsApp messages get people arrested sometimes?
So
interesting.
Creepy, actually, for me about this is that German intelligence reached out to American intelligence because obviously they have way better ways of monitoring, like WhatsApp and even Signal and Telegram. He told me nothing is safe.
Well, nothing is. As I said, all they've got to do is make a request to the company, even though it's encrypted. Yes, it is, but they still have records. I mean, everything's going through their servers. It's this, duh. Anyway. But, I mean, yeah, interesting. I'm not going to watch it all because it's 20 minutes and it'll take forever. But, yeah, she's not wrong.
You've certainly had a target put on you by the main... And the Alternative for Deutschland won the election and the government was controlled by people who love Germany rather than hate it. Would you return back to Germany?
To see my family, of course, yes. But my goal is to stay in the United States, and that has mostly to do with the fact... that I have a great environment here now, and I'm not alone anymore. And I was alone in Germany for a long time, so...
That's fair. I mean... Yeah. Definitely fair. Yeah, maybe I should go get asylum in the US. I mean, honestly, I'm afraid of being arrested for what I'm saying, and it's not even hardcore. Okay. I was talking about not being sexist, but this is quite funny, so I'm not sexist. But
Women
watch
have
this
no
anyway.
choice but to swim to the shore in the clothes they're wearing.
So it's like a survivor thing. A group of women were put on an island to survive, and a group of men were put on an island to survive.
And no fire, because we have to make mistakes. Don't think about it. Just one by one. It's gonna take. We'll just cuddle each other tonight.
Yeah. Hey.
Like running out fast, the women are no closer to finding a beach to set up camp.
It's right near me. A huge fucking snake came towards me. I think. Oh my god, there's a caiman.
The men are
Though
living their best
potentially deadly
lives.
to humans, a crocodile of this size could provide tens of thousands of calories for the women, who have barely eaten in days. The women decide to walk away from this potentially life-saving feast.
That is dinner, yeah. That is our dinner.
See, no nonsense, no bullshit.
Don't scare the boss.
You're in. Here we go, puppy dog. Yes. Go.
Where'd I get the rope from?
In there, boys. Woo! Actually wrapping up the dog. We can't eat because we have no fire. We have nothing to drink.
Oh no.
Because we can't boil
This
it
is
to
funny.
purify it and sterilise it.
The women have circled back to Coconut Beach for a second time. The women of now being without water for more than 48 hours, and they are dangerously
Doesn't
dehydrated.
that basically mean you die if you don't drink for like 48 hours? That's amazing. All the guys are getting on, catching fish, eating caimans, living the best life. Even the cameraman.
After almost 2 weeks without a meal, the group is at the point of starvation. If they don't eat soon, there's a genuine risk their organs will start to shut down.
I bet I've got 3-course meals going on.
Call the medics!
Again, I'm not saying men are better than women, because they're not. But I would say in certain situations, men maybe would stick together and work together better. I think modern lefty women probably would end up like this. I think right-wing women would not end up like this. I think that they would be just as hardcore as the men. I think they just picked pussies, and that was it. So what's this? Jobless Somali refugee family who have not worked since arriving in the UK in 2008 are rehoused from their £2 million Hampstead council house into a 1.3 million one around the corner. Wow, and they haven't worked at all. Literally sponging, just like the ones in Minnesota. It's interesting. It's almost as if they came here to try and con us out of stuff. What's this now? So this is about Crimson Desert. A Metacritic user gave Crimson Desert a 0 out of 10 because it has no LGBTQ representation. Why does a game need gays in it? Why? If you want to play a gay game, go... Oh, you can't play Concord because they got rid of that. Go play Dragon Age or something, for fuck's sake. Oh, what's this? Oh. Swedish Beatrice Timgren rejects the EU's migration pact. My daughter will not grow up in a Europe that is shaped by Islamic values. Sharia law is not welcome in Europe. Correct or no? She is not wrong.
Fru talman. Min dotter ska inte växa upp i ett Europa präglat utav islamistiska värderingar. Vi ser nu hur Irak planerar lagstiftning som kränker kvinnors rättigheter.
I find it amazing that all the people that claim to be left and claim to be, standing up for women's rights and stuff are okay with people who have an ideology that puts women as second-class citizens. I mean, what? It's insane to me.
9 år gamla ska kunna giftas bort. Det här, det är legaliserad pedofili helt enkelt. Dessa medeltida värderingar sprids och normaliseras nu i Europa på grund av naiva och ängsliga politiker som inte vågar skydda våra sätt att leva.
Yeah, she's right. They don't. They're too afraid of the optics, as per always. They're too afraid of being called racist. What we need and what we're getting now is people like Rupert Lowe are saying, okay, I don't care if you call me racist. Call me racist. Doesn't make any difference. And that's what we need. We need people to say, I don't care. We need to get rid of this stigma. We need to stop caring what these absolute fucking retards think and say. Why the fuck are we even acknowledging it? And just go, okay, I'm racist then. Whatever. See you later.
Samtidigt som den politiska vänstern till och med allierar sig med islamisterna. Den förra rödgröna regeringens informationsbroschyr riktad till dig som är gift med ett barn borde aldrig ens komma på tanke. Inte heller borde EU finansiera kampanjer såsom frihet finns i jihad. Dessa exempel på underkastelse. Vi måste stå upp för kvinnors rättigheter. Sluta importera kvinnoförtryck.
Yeah, I mean they're literally importing oppression.
Sharia-lagstiftningen är inte välkommen i Europa.
One day, again, if we don't fight against this, one day saying Sharia law is bad is going to be an arrestable offence. I mean, it is basically now. When we get to a point where there are a lot more of them than us that are voting, we're not going to be able to fight for women's rights anymore. The women will be done. They're literally speedrunning their own demise. Crazy. Yeah, this is insane. So Hassan, we've talked about Hassan before, is a brain dead moron on the internet who shocks his dog and hasn't got a brain. So he's gone to Cuba to support the Cuban revolutionaries on Cuban communism. Yay! Interesting. So he went there, and they had a big old party. But yeah, so apparently all patients on ventilators at Cuban hospital died after the Irish band Kneecap used massive amounts of electricity during a humanitarian performance for fellow communists. While the performers and activists stayed in a 5-star hotel with power, they had their own generators. So, whilst the rest of Cuba was in darkness, they were fine. Insane. They're having a nice little rave. But thank God they're there. They're really helping by killing the people of Cuba and having big raves. I mean, for fuck's sake. What are we doing here? That's insane. So, some good news for Restore. So look, this is minus, by the way, minus. So we're good. Robert Lowe, looking good. Net favorability, not looking bad. I mean, I'm glad that these are minuses by quite a lot. That is good news. That is good news. Oh, they've got a billboard. We've got a billboard going up. This is good shit. Party that will put the British people first. Imagine that. Oh, this is crazy as well. Yep. So the BBC apparently have just dropped a new film. People are deeming a propaganda film, where English extremist is sniping a child on a legal migrant dinghy. Firstly, there's no children on the boats. Correct. Secondly, there's never been an attack on a legal immigrant. It's normally the other, well, it is the other way around. So, crazy. Why would he be sniping a kid? Anyway, that's not what happens. They're trying to make us actual terrorists. Look at them all. Oh, there's women and children and they're all so sad. It's such bollocks. I mean, come on. Ugh. It's insane. Firstly, there's no women and children on these boats. They're all military-aged men, like 99% of them. So that's bollocks. Why would he be trying to snipe a kid anyway? I mean, just snipe the boat if you're going to do anything. But still, Jesus. I mean, the BBC is cucked. So fucking cucked. It's unbelievable. Right, so we've got a UK version of Saturday Night Live now, apparently. And Donald Trump reposted this to Trump. Yeah, isn't that the truth? That is funny. We saw this, yeah. Crazy. So what's this? A reporter just asked President Trump about taco Trump always chickens out trade. Is this based on increasingly popular Wall Street view of buying stocks after Trump tariff headlines with the assumption that Trump will chicken out and stocks will go back up?
Mr. President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country, and because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till July. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because we have $14 trillion.
What Trump does is he plays he's a businessman, and that's how he works. He gets leverage, he puts pressure on the leverage, and then he makes a deal. That's what he's done every single time. Have we not figured this out? It's not chickening out, it's making a deal. He's right.
Committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. This country was dying. You know, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me. He said, "You got the hottest. We have the hottest country in the world right now." 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people.
Yeah, we've heard this a lot. He says this a lot. But I mean, no, he's a businessman. He's doing what he has to do. To be fair, Iran is now releasing cartoons that Trump can't understand. What the fuck? Iran has some interesting propaganda going on. I'll give you that. It really, really does. What the fuck? Oh, so stupid. I mean, Iran is not doing a good job. This is obviously bullshit. Fuck. What does this even mean? What's with all these fucking emoticons, really? China. For fuck's sake. England. Oh god. Oh, now they've blown up America and everything's fine. I think they are strongly overestimating themselves. Just a bit. I mean, they're going to lose eventually. We just need to keep pushing. Oh yes, there's some crazy shit going on with the. So there was an anti-Semitic terrorist attack. Bombing ambulances. So there you go. I wonder what kind of people would be doing that. Who could guess? Well, we all know, don't we? So yeah, some of the people that we've left in over the last however long it's been that we've been letting fucking everyone into the country. So Bob Monkhouse's repair shop episode is getting pulled out because it's apparently sexist, even though it probably isn't really. It's just a joke, for fuck's sake. A woman getting beaten over the head for no reason from a migrant. Well, let's call it an illegal immigrant because that's probably what it is. Crazy. There's some schools shutting because of Eid, which again is ridiculous. I mean, let's just stick to our own culture, shall we? And yeah, we can only hope. We can only hope. And I think I've talked about the rest. Butter. What the fuck do you need fake butter for? Palm oil and chocolate. We've gone through these ones before. So yeah, crazy shit going on, as per usual. As per usual. Let's see what else we've got here. So, oh shit, yeah. I mean, this is all I've read of it so far, but we're going to get into it. But YouTuber found guilty of killing pregnant girlfriend while faking GTA stream for alibi. I mean, not a bad way to. I mean, that's smart, but I mean, killing your girlfriend and her unborn child, not so much. Oh, and you put Merry Christmas on and all of that. Okay, smart. I mean, obviously, terrible person, but is there not a video for this? Oh, I like it when there's a video more. YouTuber Stephen McCulg, I've definitely pronounced that wrong, has been found guilty of killing his pregnant girlfriend while using a pre-recorded GTA stream as an alibi. In December 2022, YouTuber Stephen went live on YouTube to play GTA. At the same time, his girlfriend, 32-year-old Natalie McNally, was killed at her home in Lurgan, Northern Ireland. The stream, however, was part of a ruse During the broadcast, Stephen told his viewers that he couldn't interact with them due to a technical issue, but cyber experts later determined the GTA stream was pre-recorded, something Stephen reportedly admitted in a written statement to police. Oopsie doodle. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's basically putting your foot in it a little bit, isn't it? If you've already come up with an alibi like that. Why did you come up with that? Because I killed her? Alright, good. Is that somebody pretending to be XQC on a game? I don't know what game this is. Actually.
Even the Muslim hurry up. Look at it.
So that's Myth pretending to be him. That's pretty funny. Nick Lee gets racially abused on a family trip in Rome. I don't know who Nick Lee is, but okie dokie.
I'm about to fucking smack that guy with a fucking 2950.
I'm pretty sure that guy's not Italian. We need ice in Italy.
It's Ebonics on Chinese, you know?
Wow. I mean, again, all these countries in Europe, Britain definitely included, we're literally importing hate. We're importing people who are not tolerant. Our tolerance is importing intolerance. It's so fucking stupid.
No kill. Oh, that's why your mouse might not be working, my friend. You just smashed it to pieces.
That would do it.
No, wasn't there a poly market?
I'd do that as well.
A player would break something at the tournament.
Probably was.
And I think he just broke his mouse. Everything. Dude, why are you slamming your mouse for? You donut? You just broke your mouse. Congrats.
Listen.
There's some shit mice, to be fair.
We had a blast of it and
Put it in the middle, on the group.
No buttons.
No, on the edge, I mean, sorry.
Oh, Minecraft Final. I don't care about that. Don't know what that is. Da 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 da. Maybe. Alright. XQC. Don't know. Jump scares. Okay. Let's see. Let's have a gander.
Yo, got any stole, by the way, what the fuck?
She was 98. Jesus fucking Christ. Yep. I think I would not be happy with that either. Yep. She was 98, made him turn into a wolf. Okay. Clean knockout, an MMA fight. Okay. Let's see. Let's have a quick gander.
Every single punch. Yeah, I think Livens probably knows too, like at all costs.
Oh! Why is it being so shit? Come on, Twitch. What are you doing? It's actually frozen. Fuck's sake, really? Come on! Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Some serious technical difficulties we've got going on. Good stuff. I can't refresh it or anything. Cool. Great. Well, I mean, we've gone through most of the news already. I did want to react to Breathing Elon's Musk, which looked kind of good. It looked very good. Another Skybrow music video to enjoy. But, yeah. Apparently Google doesn't want to work anymore. Oh yeah, it's working now.
Yo,
I'm just gonna get rid of that.
by the way, what the fuck?
Just gonna get rid of that. All right, live stream fail wise, yeah, bored now. Nothing else going on.
Did I play here on the?
I'm not
Oh god, not that guy.
Dude, you always
Oh god.
And started yelling from afar with his phone camera out. How the fuck does anybody prepare for that kind of psychopathic experience?
What? What? What's he
You should have
going
recorded
on about
it.
now?
Brother, how am I supposed to know? How am I?
Or a nice little
supposed
Cuba
to
hat
know
whilst he's sitting in a hotel
Mossad
that has
agent
generators whilst
followed
Cuba's
my
in
ass
blackouts.
to Havana, fucking Cuba, and intercepted me at my point of travel and started yelling.
Also, apparently, his glasses that you can see there cost $1,400. But yeah, he's fighting for communism, guys. Yeah, even though he's benefited from capitalism more than most people ever will. Interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Stupid people, like really. I'm sorry, but capitalism works because it's based on human greed. It's based on human nature. And greed is one of the most natural human traits. I mean, I don't like greed, obviously. I'm not greedy. I'm not doing any of this for money or anything, really, just for fun. But, yeah, capitalism is based off greed. That's why it works. Communism is based off compassion and sharing, which is why it doesn't work in real life. That's why every time there's ever a communist government, they either fail completely or they turn into capitalism anyway. Like in China and I'd assume in Cuba as well right now. So, yeah, there's always people that are better off than others. You can equalize wealth, and within like a day, there would be people at the bottom and people at the top. It's just how it is. You can't go against human nature and just the reality of life. So, and expect it to work.
Yo, what's good? Is this your girl?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, please come here.
She's going, bro. She's going.
She's busy.
It gives you a little clarity,
Slags.
brother.
It does, bro. Now I gotta get on my little smashing journey, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm glad I could help you out. That's what people were talking.
Disgusting people. Anyway.
The channel, and
So, that's it, really. We've gone through the news. That's interesting. We're going to do a bit of a react first. Well, to finish, should I say. Cool. So, I'm looking at another music video by Skybrows. It's 4 months old, but I haven't looked at it yet, so we're going to have a look at it. Breathing Elon's Musk. So, something I find interesting about Elon Musk in general, and the whole vibe towards him is interesting. Because the whole of the left, all the lefties, used to love Elon Musk. Because he's like, oh, he's helping the environment. Oh, look, he's making Teslas and electric cars. And, oh, yeah, Elon Musk's great. And then he gets involved with Trump. And, Elon Musk is an asshole and I hate him. It's funny how that seems to happen, isn't it? If anything supports Trump, it's evil and bad. And they go off on one. But, yeah, now Elon's on the right side of history. So let's see what's going on. Let's check it out. Oh, cat girls. Come on, Elon. I want my own cat girl, please. Get on it. Yeah, all the lefties setting them on fire. Because that's good. For some reason. I mean, the things Neuralink's doing is amazing. I saw some videos of some guys playing Warcraft with it and doing things they've never been able to do. 6, 7. Was that Tony? I think so. Oh, husband. There he is. Well, he's getting the future sorted. That's good. It's a good thing he did buy X or Twitter. Single-handedly saved free speech on the internet, I think. And providing Starlink for the people of Iran when they had the internet blackout. That's a pretty G move. Zuckerborgs. Yeah, he's pretty autistic. Smart. Nice. Another banger by Skybrows. Very nice. I like it. That was very good. That was good shit. Yep. I mean, he's doing what needs to be done. We need cat girls. We need robots to do all the shit for us. We need to have colonies on Mars and other planets for when this one gets blown up by, you know, Islamic terrorists or whatever. So yeah, needs to be done. Let's get on it. At least somebody is trying. I've got to appreciate the effort. So, yep, good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. Very nice. Right, well, I think that's it from me. I've been blabbering on for, I don't know how long actually, a while. But yeah, it's been a while since I did the news, so sorry about that. It's been like 5 days, I think, or maybe more, like a week. So yeah, I think we're all caught up now. I'll try and do another one in a couple of days or so, maybe a few. We shall see. But yeah, until then, I will go and have some food, and then I'm going to stream some more Crimson Desert, which I'm very much enjoying. It's very good. There's a lot of negative feedback about Crimson Desert, as I've explained in other videos, basically because it was overhyped and people thought it was something that it wasn't going to be. I mean, I assumed it would be basically Black Desert, but not online and better, and it is, so I'm fine with that. That's good. The exploration's good. I like the combat. The UI is a bit janky and weird, but you know, when you get used to it, it's fine. And I do actually wonder how it is doing rating-wise and stuff. Steam charts. Is that one right? Yeah. Okay. No, not there. Crimson Desert. Let's have a look. So, the reviews have got a lot better. It was at 60% last time, now it's at 75%, so that's a lot better. It's looking good. Does that mean it's mostly positive now? Yeah. Shit. Right now, 180,000 peak, 250,000. So it's maintaining its player base very well. But then again, it is at least 100-hour game. So I would imagine people are going to stick it out. Interestingly, it went down and then up. Weird. Huh. Oh, that's good. I suppose it's the weekend, isn't it? Yeah. Saturday, Sunday, then back down on Monday, which makes sense. But yeah, it's a great game so far. I'm enjoying it a lot. And they added storage, I think yesterday or the day before, so that really fucking helps. I don't have to worry about my inventory as much, although it is full again, so I need to deal with that. But anyway, cool. It's been fun. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next time. Okay. Thanks everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye bye.